11 years ago, my husband was killed in a car accident. And then 10 years ago, Hurricane Wilma came through South Florida and decided my home was the target. The house was a total loss. Literally, I lost everything, right to the walls. Everything had to be thrown out because it rotted right in place. And I allowed myself a pity party for 3 to 6 months, and then I said, screw it, excuse me, I gotta get over this, I gotta go on living. But the problem was, I had no job, I had no place to live, and I don't want to be a burden to my children either. You know, they are entitled to have their lives. I had mine, they're entitled to theirs. Almost every day I would go to Job Junction, but you're only allotted an hour and a half at the computers. Well, I understand that because they don't want somebody hogging all day long. But I'd leave there and go to the library and spend another couple of hours on the computer. I had applied for almost any job you can imagine.
Miss Kathleen was a walk-in. And she came in inquiring about some of our services. Once I told her about the services, she was excited and she signed up. After that, she kept coming.
You know, I was checking everything and every day. And I was doing this every single day, Monday to Friday, putting in at least 3-4 applications a day for as much computer time as I could.
She would just come in like if it was a job. And she would put in her hours and then she would leave. She came in for about 3 months. It was almost 3 to 4 months. She stayed with me every day and applied for jobs.
1 week turned into 2, 2 turned into 3, 3 turned into a month, month turned into 2 months. I was in tears sometimes. I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? I was very discouraged.
She would check her email and she would have about 10 or 15 denial letters. And when she would see that, she would get frustrated because she knew that she was, qualified. She knew that she had great jobs in the past, but, nobody would, even call for an interview. So she didn't understand why.
Nicole was very helpful. She really, truly was. I hadn't looked for a job and I couldn't remember. All right, so she said, "Don't worry, it'll come. But I'm not a very patient person. Haven't been an A-type personality and driven all the time. I wasn't used to waiting."
I just told her, that don't think about the negative things, Sometimes you just have to focus on the positive things and continue to apply until, you do get that company that gives you a chance. And that company was Goodwill. One day she came up to me and she was like, "Are you guys hiring?" And I was just like, "Well, yes, ma'am, just put in the application." I didn't talk to her for a few days. And she walked in and she had on the Goodwill shirt. And I was at my desk and I looked up and I saw her. We didn't even have to say anything. Once I looked at her and she looked at me, I was just so excited and floored and just so happy for her.
I said, "Hey, Eureka, we made it." I was like, oh my goodness. She was thrilled, I was thrilled. I hadn't even started yet, but I still, it was just such a relief. I'm a people person. I really wanted a job because I can interact with people. And it's 6 blocks away from where I live. I walk every day. The 6 blocks to and the 6 blocks back. And they laugh at me, but I've lost 17 pounds since I started working at Goodwill. I told them, I said, "You might be stuck with me for the next 10 years. And they start laughing. But seriously, it's a fun job. I have fun with it. I run wares, I run clothing, I clean up after people, I do the dressing rooms, and I basically have fun with the customers. And I enjoy my job.
She was looking for employment, and it may took a while for her to get what she wanted, but she got it. She didn't stop, even when it seemed like she wasn't gonna get a job.
I wanted to be doing something constructive. I didn't want to be a little old lady. I'm not ready for it yet. I'm really not. One of these days I will grow up, but I mean, right now, Peter Pan is still living and very well.
Chester first came to Palm Avenue about 6 years ago, and he was in middle school. Palm Avenue is a special needs school for intellectually disabled students. At Palm Avenue, we have what's called the Work Enclave program. We have myself as a job developer, and we have 4 job coaches. And when students get to be 18, they're in a transition program. We send them out on what's called community-based vocational education to see where their strengths are, what their interests are, and then by the time they age out at 22, to see if we can get them employment or have a plan for them as they transition out.
They help prepare us for job developing, like take us out to different job sites. It teaches you how to be with people and learn how to work with people out in the real world.
He went out to numerous job sites, and then we finally decided to take him out to Goodwill, and immediately Chester impressed Goodwill and us.
When we first met Chester, he was very shy, very not a lot of self-confidence, and typical of these kids that come and help out with us. And the more we got to know Chester, the more he would greet you with that big smile, that attitude of wanting to come to work and wanting to do a good job. You give Chester direction and a job, he jumps on it.
After about 3 or 4 months, one of the supervisors came to us and said that they would be interested in possibly hiring Chester.
I was first nervous when I heard I was hired, and I said, oh, okay. But I think I can do it. It's all good.
When Chester got hired full-time, it came to a point where he had to ride public transportation. Sometimes Mr. Graver would pick him up or take him home. But I can remember, he was real nervous about having to ride the bus by himself for the very first time because he had to be at work early in the morning.
When they told me to first catch the bus, I was terrified because, I never took a city bus in my life.
We would all try to really pump him up. We knew it was coming, so every day we'd talk to him about it and encourage him. And the poor kid was sweating bullets the day before. But that morning, when he showed up, first thing he did was, Mr. Ken, I did it. I rode the bus. Told me how scared he was, how nervous he was, but that he was so excited that he rode the bus by himself and he made it to work. It was just a change in his self-confidence all of a sudden. And each day got a little bit better. He's still nervous about it, but today you see him not only riding the bus there, you see him sitting at the bus stop, and it's second nature to him now.
The job is real hard out there, but once Thursday hit, I'm so happy. Because that's when they send me my check, and when I look at my check every morning, I would say, gosh, I deserve this.
Chester has always said that part of the money that he makes goes to help his family, and that's a big deal to him.
My parents were sick. First, my dad had cancer, which is real hard. I had to keep helping them out until he got better. Now my mom has it. I was terrified when I heard they had cancer. I really was. It broke my heart, but me and my sister working now, so it's kind of hard and tough with this rent and these bills and stuff. It's really hard on everybody, but you know what? That's why I try to push myself a little bit.
Chester has worked very hard to get just where he's at now. Anyone that knew Chester beforehand, to see this shy young man become what he is now, outgoing, works hard, doesn't complain, is proud to receive a paycheck, is proud to come to work every day, and really just gets along with everybody, especially the ladies. Not too long ago, I was walking by the laundry, and there's a bunch of ladies standing around, and there's Chester right in this open area doing the moonwalk to no music. But he had this huge smile on his face, and these ladies were just eating it up.
I've been practicing a lot. I've been watching Dancing with the Stars for a little bit of time, so I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Chester's attitude in the laundry, like I said, has always been positive. He never complains, he never slows down, he never says, I can't do this. It's always, what's next?
They call me the king of laundry, so I'm all right. I've been working Goodwill for 2 years, so I'm gonna keep on going. This third year gonna be a little bit more difficult. But I say, hey, don't worry, Chester, because you're gonna accomplish this too. Nothing can't get in your way.
When I was young, I didn't have such great parents. When I was about 13, me and my brothers and my sisters, we were all put into foster care, and we all got separated. Things could have turned out a lot worse. I could have ended up on the streets on drugs, but I didn't. I decided, that I was determined to be something. I was working at different jobs, wasn't going nowhere in any of the companies. It just seemed like it was just job after job, bouncing. I discovered Goodwill when I was just driving around town. I seen the commercials on the TV. They get people to donate stuff, and then in turn, Goodwill helps other people, which I like that a lot. I decided, well, okay, I'll go apply for a job. They called me back. It was great. You greet donors, you help people with their donations, you put items out on the floor, you bring people up at the register, just basically customer service. I'm a social butterfly, so I love being around people. The more people, the merrier. My coworkers at Goodwill are like a family. All of us are. It made me feel good that I was working there. Then Goodwill came up with this A-Step program. They sent out little flyers in our pay stubs.
A-Step is a program that is designed to help adults re-enter post-secondary education in order to elevate their wages and skills.
When I seen the flyer, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. It was like, hey, you need to do this. This is your chance. Now is the time. I contacted Jill, and everything got started.
Liz was one of my first applicants, and I was impressed off the bat with Liz. Brought all her paperwork and everything that she had done leading up to this point, and you could tell she had worked really hard at trying to get back into school and just did not have the resources or the guidance.
Well, I walked into Jill's office and sat down and met with her and talked with her, started filling out some of the paperwork, and she was like, well, what are you interested in? I've always wanted to be in the medical field because I like helping people. When I see somebody on the side of the road hurt, I always want to go help.
She was very passionate about her dreams and getting into the medical field at some point in her life. So she just didn't want to give up on that, even though she truly loved her job. She had to pass the entrance exam to even apply to the program, and she has not been to school for many years. So she was told by many people that she couldn't do it, and she didn't have the ability to pass the test.
When somebody tells you you can't do this, you shouldn't let them win. You should just push it and prove them wrong.
She was very diligent about studying for 2 to 3 weeks, and then came back and aced the test, and really, I think, surprised herself. We were called by Dr. Farron at Florida State College, letting us know that she was accepted. She was thrilled. She was over the moon.
Jill is amazing. I don't know what I would do without her. Because throughout this whole process, she's been there for me. I don't know. Without her, I don't know if I could have done this. The medical assisting program is wonderful. It's hard work, lots of studying, but it's worth it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Goodwill has given me a new sense of hope. You meet so many different people, and you don't realize how much you've impacted their lives, or if they've impacted yours. It's cool.
I think she's reached a point where she finally believes in herself and knows she can do it, and I don't think there's anything stopping her now.
I have a career now. It's not just a job anymore. This is real. It's
It's amazing.